All right, this is my opportunity to bitch. Again, I talk to so many people and I love it all. It gives me a great opportunity to gain insight into the minds of so many people when it comes to trying to find your health, trying to chase that down. And ultimately, what I've learned is how brutally difficult it is. But this is the number one complaint of so many people that I talk to. This is the number one excuse, I should say, not complaint, excuse that I get why people either don't start or why they fail. Here it comes. You ready? Bet you could guess it. It's not for everyone. The carnivore diet is not for everyone. I hear this about a lot of different things when it comes to getting healthy, exercise. It's not for me. It's not for everyone. The way you do it isn't the way I do it. And I think socially we all just go, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know, what's good for this person isn't good for this person. I think that's all BS. Here's why. I think that it's BS because we're constantly looking for an excuse to not do that thing that we're supposed to do. So if you're on, this is the way I break it down. My mind just works this way. I'm just very basic like this. If I'm on a desert island and once a day, a ship will come in and put down a table of food, and on that food is nothing but red meat, and that's the only thing that boat will bring every day, one time a day, am I not going to eat it? Of course I am. Of course I would. Would I get tired of it? Possibly. What do I say to do when you're tired? Jerry, I can't eat the meat. I'm tired of it. I get that all the time. I understand. I went through that too. And what you do is rather than look for something else to eat, which is what kind of our programming tells us to do, again, looking at it at its most basic form and function, that being food, and the energy that it provides us and the nutrients that it provides us, if you can't eat it, something like that red meat, because I just can't eat meat again, it's been 10 days in a row, I can't do it, don't eat. See, your body will tell you to eat when it wants you to eat. You're eating on your own schedule. So you say, Jerry, it's not for me. I can't eat meat 4 days in a row. Don't eat meat 4 days in a row, but don't eat anything else. Because I guarantee you go 2 days without eating. That third day, whatever gets put down in front of you, you're going to eat. And maybe that 2 days is 3 days. And maybe 3 days is 4 days. Maybe you're one of those. Ultimately, though, you will eat that thing that you don't want to, because that basic necessity for energy and nutrition is going to take over that brain of yours that has been programmed for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, telling you what, or you telling it what you want to eat, or it telling you what it wants you to eat, which is carbs and sugars and things that taste good and pleasure center receptors and all of those things that we have to go through in the standard American diet that manipulate us to eat them. You got to be smarter than that. So I push back on it's not for me. It doesn't work for me, because it's not for everybody. That's the saying I get. It's not for everybody. If it works for you, great, but it doesn't work for me. I can't eat meat every day in a row. Yes, you can. You just won't. You're looking at the world like you have to eat every day. You're not understanding, or you're not thinking about, if you are not able to eat something, you're not hungry enough. And it's okay to be hungry. It's okay to let your body work itself to the point where you become hungry enough to eat whatever gets put in front of you. Because guess what's on the other side of going through that process and that suffer and that pain and that withdrawal and all of that? Guess what's on the other side? Me. Because I'm just going to finish up this video. I have one more to do. And then, I'm running downstairs to eat eggs and sausage. Guess what I had yesterday? Eggs and sausage. Guess what I had every day for the last, maybe it's not been the last 23 months, but for the majority of the last 23 months, what I've eaten every single day: eggs and sausage, eggs and bacon, eggs, bacon, and cheese, some combination thereof. I can't wait to eat it, because my food does not control me. I control it, and I know what's good for me, but my body knows what's good for me. So it's excited that I'm going to put in that nutritious energy that it needs to continue to fuel this body that I have built, relative to what I was doing 22 months, 23 months ago. So I don't want to hear, for me, I push back. I don't believe that it's not for everybody. I think that it's not for you now because either you're not in the right mindset or you just refuse to see it. There are, before I got to listen to all the comments, a few who can eat for legitimate reasons. There's something wrong legitimately. My experience, though, is those are few and far between relative to the number of people who think that they have a problem. I can't eat meat, Jerry. I react badly to it. I can't eat meat, Jerry. It's no good for my metabolism. Think about what you're saying. You're saying that if you're on a desert island and there's nothing to eat, you'll just die rather than eat the plate of food that the boat delivered every single day. No. The person who would do that, who would sit there and die, is rare. I'm rare. As to almost not exist, rare. They're out there. There are certain ailments, without a doubt, that preclude people from eating red meat, but they are rare. For everybody else, you choose not to eat red meat. You choose not to eat meat of different sorts, right? Maybe you choose not to eat meat at all. Good for you. That's fine. This applies across the board. If you're a vegetarian, I don't want to do it anymore. I got to eat meat because I don't want to eat any more vegetables. Well, that's a much more difficult road to hoe, I think, than the one that I'm on. But at the same time, if the vegetables are the only thing that's delivered, you're going to tell me you're going to sit there and die rather than go eat them. No. Now, of course, if all you did is eat vegetables with no supplementation, of course, you're not going to be around for very long. But you get my point. It's all in your head. It's almost the rare person that it's not. And we make this stuff up, I think, to make an excuse, to deal with it, to deal with the situation that we are in, the place where we find ourselves better. And I think that it is a game that we play that then we are able to hear from others in society that tell us the same thing maybe in our circles, maybe on social media. People are always quick to say it's not for everyone. And I just don't accept that. Because if I were dying like I was, if my life was ending the way mine was, if I was in the critical condition that I was and I had an answer in front of me, I'm going to say, no, I can't do it because it makes my belly feel bad. I'm not going to do it because I've got some belief system that I grew up with. So I'm going to fall over and die rather than take this opportunity to try to improve my life at a scale that is unimaginable. No, you wouldn't. I wouldn't think any sane person would. But then again, I look at the world different. Opportunities are everywhere. You got to go get them. Eat a steak and go for a walk.